welcome back to Harmony Yoga. I just got back from a nice walk and I didn't stretch and move my body on my yoga mat yesterday after my hike, and I started to really feel myself tighten up. So today I thought I would just lead you in a little class. Perhaps you just got back from a walk and you want to really come back into your body on your mat and experience just a couple things. So today, before we get started, I want you to go ahead and pause the video and gather a couple supplies you're going to need. I want you to have either a yoga mat that you can roll up, something like this half dome that we're going to use this as a calf stretch. The other thing you could use in place of that is a really dense blanket, so that maybe you use your blanket and you roll that up. We're going to use a chair and a strap. So feel free to pause me to go gather your supplies, and we'll get started here when you get back, okay? All right, so now that you've got your supplies, I will show you what I want you to do with your rolled up blanket or your rolled up mat. I want you to roll that up as tightly as you can so that you don't squish into it. Ideally, what I've got here is a half dome. And if you privately message me, I can let you know, I can send you a link as to where you can pick up one of these half domes. What you're gonna do is stand with your right foot, the heel we want grounded on the floor, the ball of the toes we want on top of the arch, okay? Now what I'm gonna do is start pressing the ball of my right foot into that dome, or your rolled up mat, or your rolled up blanket, in any way you can do this. I would not suggest you hang your foot off of a step to do this. Sometimes we do that going up a step. You might use that for a calf stretch, but we really want that heel to be grounded into the floor, okay? So that's gonna give us a little bit of protection there so we don't overstretch. All right, lifting and separating the toes on that foot, push down through the ball of the big toe and the mound of the little toes. So we're really squarely pressing down. The leg is active because we pulled our toes up toward us. And then if you can keep the body upright, long side body, rotate the shoulders back. If you can keep that, go ahead and start stepping the left foot forward. And keeping the weight in line with that back foot, you can even bend a little bit into the front leg to give a deeper stretch on the back leg, or walking that left foot forward a little bit more. Taking a deep breath here as if you can breathe into that calf muscle, as if you've got a lung down there in the lower leg, stretching and releasing the tension from the walk or the hike or whatever you've just been doing here today, and you want to add just a little bit of compassion and kindness to the body so you don't get cramped up and tensed up. Good. Take one more deep breath in, and exhale, step the left foot back, and we're going to switch. So now the left foot goes on the block or the blanket or the mat, whatever you've got here, separating the toes, pulling the toes back, grounding the heel into the earth. If you can keep this upright posture, you can notice this in yourself. If you're really tight here, you're going to start to curve the upper back, and that's what we're trying to keep elongated here in the spine, walking the right foot forward. Where do you feel that stretch? And then pressing down evenly through the ball of the foot. Again, the heel is grounded. You can start to bend into the right leg if that feels comfortable. Take a deep breath in, breathing all the way down to that lower leg. Sounds funny, but imagine you've got lungs down there and you're going to breathe into that lower leg. Feel some of that tension start to dissipate. This can really impact, if you open up the lower leg, it can really impact up into your hamstring, to the low back. It can help even alleviate some stuff going on in your feet. So this is a wonderful exercise to do. Good. Now go ahead and step back and slide that out of the way, or step ahead of it. Now we're going to use our chair. I'm going to walk so far forward to my chair that I can actually reach the back of the chair. I'll make sure that's actually in the screen here. Now, moving the hips back, reaching the hands forward, let the head drop through between your shoulders, but lift the outer armpits here. Lift and separate your toes. Push down through the ball of the big toes, spread the little toes out to the side, and move the inner thighs back. Good, and go ahead and rise. And now we're going to go back to this half dome. And standing both feet on the dome this time, or whatever you've got there to give your toes the lift, grounding the heels into the earth, move the inner thighs back, and this time we're going to bring the hands to the chair. Lift your tailbone, lift your head, press the balls of both feet now into the mound. Feel the sensation here. Maybe walking your hands forward a little bit more. Bend one leg. Ooh. And then bend the other. Your feet are facing forward. Lifting the tailbone now, straightening both legs. Walk yourself back up. Good. And now go ahead and move your blanket, unroll your mat if that's what you've used, I should say. Move the chair off the mat. We're going to come down to all fours. Now curling the toes under, spreading the fingers wide on the mat, flatten the low back. So really you're not caving in, you're not creating this little valley here, but you're not overarched either. You're right in the middle. Allow the head to drop toward the floor. Move your head a little bit side to side. And then let your head come back to center. Keeping your back just as it is, hugging your arms together, keeping the arms straight. Keeping the head just as it is. Draw your shoulder blades away from each other on the back. And then draw the shoulder blades together on the back. The effect is going to be your head is lifting away from the floor and lowering toward the floor, except you're not moving your head. You're only moving the shoulder blades away from the spine and shoulder blades together on the spine. Go back and forth here a few times. If you've never done this before, it feels really awkward and odd. The more you do it, the more you can really picture that muscle right between the shoulder blades. Now you're stretching that out as you move the shoulder blades away, and then activate that muscle that draws the inner tips of the shoulder blades, the bottom tips there together. Do that one more time. Separate. And now you're integrating the arm into the shoulder socket. Sit back now onto your lower legs. We'll do the same thing with arms out in front, reaching the hands away, draw the hands back. Go back and forth here a couple times. So notice my body is not moving, my head's not moving, it's just my arms are reaching far forward so they're coming out of the shoulder socket and then drawing back in. Feel the shoulder blades come together on the back. Let's do that one more time. Good. So if you tend to, as you're walking, if you tend to kind of come forward, we want to rotate that back. We want to undo that forward motion. We want to come back this way. Another way we're going to do that is on our back. So grab your blanket or your half dome here. Place it underneath those shoulder blades that you were just moving back and forth. That dome is going to go right under the shoulder blades, and you can even locate this right under your head to give your head a little bit of cushion here too. So now we're going to take our arms out into a T position, draw the shoulder blades together on the back, and inhale, reach the arms up overhead, and sliding the fingertips on the floor, bring the hands down next to the hips. And go back and forth here with your breath. Inhale up, and exhale lower. Do a few more here. So this yoga practice is really meant to complement what you like to do throughout the day. This just moves your body in new ways so that you can continue with that range of motion moving forward in your life. No matter what age we are, we still want that range of motion, right? And they say that you will constrict if you do nothing. That's fine. If you want to constrict, you'll constrict. But if you want to work against that natural constriction of the body. Keep moving your body in new ways. It almost confuses the brain, so the brain has to work a little bit to get out of some of those habits, some of those old routines. So that's a good thing. We always want to keep the brain guessing, right? That's why when you do one type of exercise all the time, you kind of get into a little bit of rut, and the body knows what to expect, the heart knows what to expect, and even the brain knows. So if you change it up and you try to do something different, you cross train, or you vary it up from day to day, or you add more weights to your weight workout, the body has to adapt, right? That's how we get stronger, that's how we get more agile. So this is just one more way that we can move the body in new and different ways. All right, so now we're gonna move this dome aside and grab the strap, strapping up now around the ball of your right foot. Bring the right foot up to the sky, and then choke up onto the strap. Draw the shoulder blades underneath you. You're going to decide how far or how close that leg comes to your head. So this can become a really nice hamstring stretch. You don't need to overdo it here. We're using the breath. Inhale, draw toward you, and exhale away. So maybe you are here, forward and away. That's fine. There's no shame in that. Just be where you are and work with the breath. So we're not bouncing here, we're using the breath to help us find our edge and either pause there or back off a little bit. One more breath in. Now we're going to grab the strap with just the right hand, take the right leg out to the right, and maybe you've got enough clearance here. If you hit the wall, that's fine. You can press into the wall. Maybe you've got enough clearance to let the right leg come all the way down to the floor. You're again deciding how close that foot is towards your head. That's up to you, but there's no need to overdo it here. You actually get further quicker if you let the body lead the way through the breath. So even close your eyes, so you're not even noticing where that foot is, but you can feel it with your eyes closed. Let the breath guide you. Do you need to back off the strap a little bit, or can you pull a little more? Take another breath in and out. Inhale, bring the leg back up to center, and then switch the strap into the left hand, and the right hand is going to reach out to the right. The left little toe side of your foot is going to rotate onto the little toe side while that right foot pushes out. And if you go slowly, you might find some really tight spots that you could breathe into on your way down. Whether you come all the way down or not is completely up to you and the body, how it wants to open. But again, there might be some treasures for you to find along the way. So now we're going to pull the low back in and up, move the right hip away from the right armpit. Slowly turn our gaze, lifting the left lung toward the center. So the left lung is going to move this way. The gaze is going to move over to the right. And we're going to push the right foot into the strap, and the left foot is actually engaged as well. So that left leg isn't passive here. Come back up to the sky. Remove the strap. Now, part of building this interoception, this inner awareness of the body, is to close the eyes, and after doing just one side, I want you to just notice the difference between your right and left side. It's going to be very subtle. Once you've been doing this a while, it becomes very obvious which side is active, which side feels engaged, what side feels like it's got energy pulsing through it. And then we'll go ahead and strap up around the left foot. Choking up onto the strap and then integrating the arms into the shoulder socket. The ball of the big toe presses into the strap. So you're really pushing the whole ball of the foot up to the sky, and you're going to decide how far away or how close that leg is towards your head. Feel free to close your eyes and breathe into the length of that leg. Lift and separate the toes even on your right foot so that leg remains active. And then grab the strap with your left hand. Slowly take the left leg out to the left, right arm out to the right, opening up through both legs, both arms, and even up through the crown of the head. Pause here with the breath, noticing how close or how far away that foot comes toward the head. Come back up to center. Right hand grabs the strap, take the left leg across the body, and the little toe side of the right foot comes toward the earth, moving the left hip away from the left armpit, coming down all the way to the floor or part way, drawing the low back in, hip moves away, long side body here. This left arm opens out to the left, the right lung rotates toward the sky, and then put your head in a position that feels comfortable for the neck. Pause here and breathe. What a wonderful gift it is to take just a few minutes to honor the body that works so hard for us. It's almost just like a little giving back to the body. Good, and come back to center. Remove the strap, lay the legs next to each other, and now notice if you have both sides that feel equally active and engaged, the energy is pulsating evenly through both sides of the body, or maybe not, that's okay. Whatever you find is fine. There's no right or wrong here, it's just an invitation. All right, now hug the right leg up towards your chest, stretch out through the left heel. Hug the knee in, and then try to push the knee back into those interlaced hands. And then release and pull the knee closer to the chest. Still pushing through the left heel. This time we're going to lift the left leg off the floor just a couple inches, and then press that right knee into the interlaced hands once again. So you've got about 80% effort there. You're really trying to push through your hands, but your hands are pulling back. The shoulder blades are moving toward each other on the back. Good, and then rest the left leg down, hug the right knee in a little more. So let's do that again in case that didn't make sense the first time. Second time is always easier. So now you're going to push the energy out through the left heel and then lift that left heel up off the floor. Can you see that? It's just a couple inches. And then I'm going to push the right knee into the interlaced hands, drawing the shoulder blades together on the back. Still breathing here, but it's effort, right? Keeping the left foot long and lifted and the right knee pressing into my interlaced hands. Drop the heel on the left leg and hug the right knee in more. Now take that right knee out to the left. So just like we did before, we're going to roll onto the little toe side of the left foot. So that means the whole torso, the whole pelvis is coming over to the left side. Take the right arm up toward the sky. Now here, your head can rest on the floor, or you can bend your left arm and just rest your head on your arm like a pillow. Draw the low back in and up, and then slowly turn the upper body over toward the right. If you gently use the breath, you'll only open as far as your body is willing. It doesn't matter, you don't have to come all the way to the floor. You can even put something under that arm, like a block or a blanket, or just let it rest here, but you're extending out through the right arm, hugging the low back in and up, lifting the left lung up toward the sky. Slowly come back to center. Hug both knees in. Good, and then I'm going to spin around. You're just going to go to the other side here. So I'm going to hug in the left knee this time, And I'm going to interlace my hands the opposite way. Normally we have one way we favor. Let's go the opposite way. Wrap that around your knee. Extend out through the right heel. So now this whole right side is long. Shoulder blades draw together underneath you so the chest is lifted. And then press the energy through the left, or the right heel this time, lifting it a couple inches off the floor. So it's not all the way up, it's just a couple inches here. But you're still extending through the heel. And then press the left knee into the interlaced hands. You're still breathing, but it's maybe a little bit tricky to breathe because you're exerting some energy here. Good, and then drop the right heel, hug the left knee into your chest. So we'll do that one more time for your benefit if you've never done this before. Lifting the right leg, push through the right heel, extend that energy into the left knee, pushing away from you into your interlaced hands. Your hands are guarding it from pushing too far. Take another deep breath in. Relax the right heel down and hug the left knee in more. So depending upon your range of motion, you may not be able to get this knee that close to your chest. That's not a problem. You can always use a strap around the knee too if you can't interlace your hands. But by doing that exercise, we create a little bit of freedom here to get that knee a little closer to the chest. All right, now take the left knee, again, out to the right. The left hand is up toward the sky. This head, if it feels better, take the right hand now, create that pillow. Draw the low back in and up and begin to twist and look over the left shoulder. Draw the right lungs toward the sky. And your body will really guide you. If you honor and respect the body, you won't be able to go too far here. The body will help guide you. It does have a language of its own. If you listen, your body will tell you. So take a deep breath in and out. And in, come back to center. Stretch the legs out, and let's take just a little pause here. Press your elbows down, lift the heart, open the legs, open the palms toward the sky. Closing the eyes now. If you've got a little cloth you can place over your eyes, that will help you. But especially if you've just been out doing some gardening or some rigorous exercise, just remember to give back to the body. We can't keep taking and taking and taking without taking just a little bit of pause here to gift the body back our time, our energy, our respect, our compassion. And the body will keep participating with you as long as you give back to the body. Staying in this position as long as you like. Again, your body will wake you up. Your body will tell you when it's time to move. If you give it the benefit of being in this position, it will tell you how much rest it needs. So I will leave you in this position or from an upright position if you've joined me here, bringing our hands together in the place of the heart and bowing in gratitude for these bodies, for the spirit that keeps us positive and engaged, and for the quiet of the mind. Thank you for joining me today.